Are you a pecker? A what? A pecker. Are you a pecker? I'm Jimmy Rance, and I want to talk about that a little bit. Are you a pecker? I know a lot of peckers, let me tell you, on this planet. I am a victim of a pecker. Peck, 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 peck. Are you the kind of person, or are you married to a person, or are you in a relation with a person that all the time, all they do is just peck, 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 peck. They love to push buttons. Peck, 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 peck. They love to stir it up. They love to keep pushing the buttons that they know how to push just to keep you upset. You know people like that? And then what gets me, I'm trying to think about what I want to say, if I want to say this or not. I'll just say that I was in a marriage in the past. It wasn't a healthy marriage. It was a very toxic marriage. It's funny how, you can go from this really loving relationship. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you first fall in love, man, and you just, every minute of the day, you're thinking about that person. And man, you can't wait to see them again or talk to them again or talk to them on the phone or computer or whatever. You can't wait. You end up getting married. You fell in love. You get, you get together and you're living your big dream. You have your 2 weeks of honeymoon and bliss. And now all of a sudden you're fighting over who gets the plates and who gets the kitchen table. Because of peck, 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 button pushing. I know what buttons to push. It's like sometime I had this wife, it seemed like she enjoyed arguing more than she did trying to get along. She just loved to grind my gears, and I don't handle that well. I'm not the kind of guy that can take a lot of peck, peck, peck. And what really gets me, boy, this irritates me more than anything, and maybe you guys can identify with this, that they peck, peck, peck. And I know I'm saying peck, peck, peck a lot because I'm trying to drive that point. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Like that rooster, that hen, peck, peck, peck. They're pushing your buttons. I'm saying that again too a lot. But then all of a sudden, the guy who's receiving all of the peck, peck, pecking gets kind of irritated with it. And he starts or she starts to peck back. Because he or she is tired of being pecked himself or herself. So then when you, the receiver of all of this pecking, whenever you fight back or you kind of snap back and you start pecking at them because they're pecking at you, then they start screaming, "Oh, you're not who I thought you was. You're so abusive. You're so mean. Oh my God, I don't know you. You've changed." But all they've done to you is peck, peck, peck. And you've had it up to here. You know what I say? I've had it up to here. The water keeps rising, rising, rising. You had enough. And a person can only take so much of that pecking before you're going to start pecking back. Well, it's like in my marriage, in this one kind of toxic marriage, no matter what I did or what I tried, it was never good enough. And jealousy was the destroyer of this marriage. I mean, it was unbelievable. I have never been so uncomfortable in all of my life because of jealousy. Peck, peck, peck. I would always get reminded, I saw you looking at that pretty girl on TV. I wonder what was running through your mind. I know you saw that pretty gal on TV, and I bet you wished that I looked like that, huh? Driving along on the beach. There's girls and guys wearing bathing suits because that's what you do when you go to the beach. I saw you looking at that girl in the bikini. You've committed adultery on me in your heart. Peck, peck, peck. Well, I got tired one day of all the pecking. And I was up like 24 hours, I believe, before I was going to go to sleep. I don't know why. I was just up all night. I was just disturbed about something. And here goes the peck, peck, peck. And that was it. That was it. I got up. I started loading up my clothes and my personal things, and everything I could do, and I put it in my SUV. And I left. But before I left, I walked around to her side of the bed and I said to her, I am going to give you your life back. She thought I was playing. Oh, he'll be back. I left and I never came back. It's over 20 years ago. Never came back because of jealousy, which I detest. Peck, peck, peck. You know what I mean? Have you ever been in a situation? Have you ever felt, I remember this. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I do remember over 20 something years ago when I was in this very toxic marriage. I remember thinking to myself, the next time we get into an argument, I'm leaving. Maybe you've thought about that yourself. The next time that you get into an argument, you think, I'm leaving, that's it. I need one reason. I need one more argument. And that'll be the kickstart for me to pack and get out. Well, can I give you some advice? Not that you ask. If you feel that you have to wait for an argument to leave, that's your next move, like the next time we get into a fight, I'm gone. Don't wait. Just go. If you're in that kind of toxic relationship, just go. Now, I realize there are circumstances called money. Where do I go? Do I have enough money? What if there's children involved? I realize that too. I'm talking about if you're in a position where you can go get out of that toxic relationship. That's what I highly recommend, no matter what you have to do. I can't stand jealousy. It just bothers me, especially since I experienced this toxic, marriage over 20 years ago, even today. Like if I met somebody and they like me and maybe I like them too, maybe not quite as much as the way they like me, but then whenever I have a channel like this on YouTube, and there's a lot of women, a lot of guys, but when women write me, I like to write you back. I like to joke and kid around and just, that's what I like to do. That's another reason that I have a YouTube channel. It's kind of a social life for me, and I really enjoy it. But then whenever a person responds back, like me, if I respond back to a female, then maybe this person over here is going, I saw you talking. I saw you writing all those long-winded letters to those girls online. They're fake, they're false, they're not real. Really? Well, I'm on this side of the camera on YouTube, and I'm very real. And when I'm talking to you, I know you're very real. So I like to give you the benefit of the doubt that when you talk to me, it's a real person. You're not a bot talking to me. And if you are a bot, so what? What have I really lost? I've met some very nice, good people here on YouTube, and I'll tell you something else. I don't know why I'm going off on this, but if I ever hook up with somebody, I haven't hooked up with anybody, but if I did, and you demand me to get off of YouTube, like it's either me or it's YouTube, guess what? YouTube's going to win. You know why? Because you're an asshole. You're a jackass. You are a controlling, contrite, condescending bitch. That's the only way I know how to do it. If it was reversed and you have a YouTube channel and I come in and I make demands, hey, do you want to be my wife or do you want to be YouTube? Guess what? I think you should do YouTube. Now, I'm not talking about don't saturate, 23 hours out of 24 hours a day to YouTube. Pay attention to your spouse, of course, but Allow people to have their fun. Allow people to be themselves. You know, like for me, this is a wonderful way to express things on YouTube, to get things out, to meet new people, to talk. I have so much enjoyed YouTube. YouTube has helped me. You've helped me, well, you've helped me to deal with the loss of my wife. I have to thank you, the people of YouTube who watch me, for that. But don't try to, control another person just because they have a hobby that they like. Maybe they spend, really, like me, you know how much time I spend on YouTube, really? However long it takes me, to make this video, maybe under 20 minutes or so, and that's it. And then whenever I get off and you start commenting to me, and I don't really get that many comments, I'm not that big of a channel, I'll write a few of you back, and that's it. So out of a whole 24 hours a day, I may spend an hour, maybe 2 hours on YouTube. What's wrong with that? Is it really hurting anything? No, I don't think it is. Are you a pecker? Is that what you are? If you have a spouse or you're in a relationship where somebody is constantly browbeating you or they're pecking you, get out of it. That's what I suggest. I'm not telling you what to do. I wouldn't do that, but I suggest get out of that toxic relationship. There's somebody else out there better for you. Who do they think they are pecking you like that, Like, what are you, some bug in the ground, like a chicken can peck and eat it? No. The hell with them. Man, I think back of that bad toxic marriage I had with all that jealousy. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. If any of you ladies in the future, if you and I ever hook up and you want to peck me, guess what? You're going to be single very quickly. And I would suggest all of you do the same thing. Don't let anybody abuse you under any circumstance. Get out of that toxic relationship. No matter what, get out. Money or not, if you have to go to find some social service program to go to get you out of that dangerous, hostile situation, get out of it. Do yourself a favor. Love yourself enough to do that. And you know I'm right. I'm Jimmy Rance.